Well, my name is Alejandra Martin, and I'm going to explain how to use a virtual machine to host a static website on Windows Server, which will be publicly accessible from the internet using a free DNS online service like NoIP. So in order to do this task, we will need first a copy of Windows Server. In this case, I use a copy of the standard desktop edition of Windows Server 2022. And this is the operating system that we will install on the virtual machine. The virtual machine, on the other hand, is a virtualization software. And in my case, I use Oracle VirtualBox. Also, we will have internet access to download updates and the necessary tools. And finally, we will need a free NoIP account that will allow us to configure the remote access via dynamic DNS service. So first, we will create a virtual machine where we will install Windows Server 2022. And this virtual machine will need at least 4 gigabytes of RAM and at least 20 gigabytes of disk space. I used 50 gigabytes in my case. And we will also need to set the network configuration to bridge mode. So in this way, the virtual machine will have its own IP address, different from the IP of the host machine. This will be the IP that will be accessed from other devices on the network. So as I said before, we will install Windows Server 2022 on the virtual machine. You can choose between two editions, the standard or the data center edition. Both editions would be okay. I personally installed the standard edition, but if you want to use it for a larger deployment, you can choose a data center edition as well. Once the operating system is installed, it's very important to update the server to ensure that it's up to date with the latest security updates. So you have to run Windows Update. And then the first thing we have to do is to assign a static IP to the virtual machine. As I said before, a static IP will be essential for consistent access to the server. So it should be something like 192.168. etc., which is generally the IP range of a local network. And additionally, I entered the DNS servers, in my case, the ones provided by the Internet Service Provider. And I found them by checking on the ipconfig -all command on the host machine. You can also use instead public free DNS servers like the ones provided by Google or other public services. So here we have the DNS servers that we can see when we run the command ipconfig -all on the host machine. So now we will install a service from the Windows Server Manager, which is called Internet Information Services. And this is the web server that will host the static website. So to install it, we go to Server Manager, then go to the option Add Roles and Features, and then select from all the different features the one called web server, which is under server roles. And this will enable Internet Information Services on the virtual machine, allowing us to host the website. So now is the time to upload the contents of our static website. That is the HTML, CSS, the images of our website. And we have to put them on the folder that is set up by default on Internet Information Services. The default directory is in c/inetpub/www root. And in my case, I use a website that we created for another course in our career. And as we can see here, we have to enter the name of our website, the folder in which the files are stored, the port that is used for HTTP, which is port 80 by default. In IP address, we use the IP that we set as static before. And in hostname, we can choose any hostname that we want to access the website, but locally. And after we press OK, we have to ensure that the website is in started status. So here we can see the folder in which the file should be located by default. This is the default path. So if it all went OK, when you enter the hostname in the browser, you should load the website, but this will be possible only from a machine inside the local area network. So it is not accessible from the internet yet, but only locally. So I wanted to see if it would be at least possible to access this website also from the internet. So after doing some searching on the web, I found that this would be possible if I did two things. First, by using a DNS service, like in this case NoIP, which would act as a bridge between my local IP and a public IP accessible from the internet. And also, we would have to open the ports in our router, so this connection between our local server and the external public IP would be possible. So the path would be like this. When a user wants to access the website, the request would go from our browser on the internet that enters the public IP provided by the NoIP DNS service, that itself connects to the public IP to my local IP, which is itself allowed to be received by my router because the ports are open to receive the connection. And this is then sent to my Internet Information Services server that will itself send the contents of the website in response to that user on the internet. So NoIP is adequate to do this because it has a free plan for one host name that you can use. And as we will see, you have to download an update client that will ensure that your domain will always point to the correct IP. So we will have to create an account in NoIP. We log in and then we select create host name. There we choose a host name and we select the option DNS host. and we enter the host name of our public IP. That is the static IP that we have been using. Then, after creating the host name, we need to set up the NoIP update client. So we have to download the client from the official website and install it on the server, on the virtual machine. And we have to set up the client with the NoIP credentials that we entered before. And after doing this, we have to ensure that the client is running in the background to automatically update the public IP whenever it changes. So now is the time to configure the port forwarding in the web page of the router. So in my case, at least when I entered the host name that I created in NoIP, the browser automatically sent me to the Movistar router page. So I entered the credentials, the user and the password. And then we will see that we have to go to the section in which we will set some rules to open ports. So as I said before, in order to set up external access to our website, we need to set up a port forwarding on the router. So we need to add some rules that will direct incoming traffic on ports, specifically 80 for HTTP and port 443 for the HTTPS to the internal IP address of our virtual machine. We have to set up these rules for incoming traffic and also outgoing traffic. So this step will allow us to access the website from outside our local network, from anywhere on the internet. So finally, if all went well, when we entered the host name that we created in the NoIP account, now we will be able to access the site from anywhere on the internet. But the IP is still set up with the old HTTP protocol, and it would be a good measure to enhance its security by installing SSL certificates. So to secure this website a little more, we will set up an SSL certificate using Let's Encrypt, which is a free SSL provider. And for this, I used WinAcme, which is an Acme client for Windows servers that is compatible with Internet Information Services. So first we have to download the latest version of WinAcme. We have to extract its contents, which are in a zip file. And we have to run an executable that starts the process sort of automatically of obtaining the certificate. We have to make sure that in this process, it is the host name that we entered in the NoIP account that is the one that acquires the certificate. So this executable will open a command line application that will download the SSL certificate from Let's Encrypt It will also install it in the Windows Certificate Store. It will configure Internet Information Services to use the SSL certificate for our website. And additionally, WinAcme will set up a task that automatically renews the certificate every 90 days because certificates from Let's Encrypt are valid only for that period. So finally, once everything is set up, we will have access to our website using HTTPS from the host name that we entered in NoIP. And the browser should show a green padlock in the address bar, indicating that the connection is secure with the SSL certificate in place. Finally, I wanted to add that I know that this method raises a lot of concerns about its security, but I chose to do this, so I wanted to see if it would be possible, at least, but I know that it's rather insecure to host a web server like this. So, but if I review the security measures or alternative methods, the presentation would be too long, and it's not the objective of this presentation, but at least but I think it was a nice way to learn a bit more about what we can do with Internet Information Services and Windows Server in general. So thank you very much for listening, and that is all.